only shark in the world who knows how to swim the backstroke. Pretty amazing. That is our animatronic shark, Bruce, who clearly takes his job very seriously here at Universal Studios. Which is the exact opposite of the animatronic shark they used for the filming of Steven Spielberg's Jaws. That one actually sank to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean on their first day of filming.
That's a much maligned shark. The shark was frustrating. It didn't really work all the time. It didn't work probably at all.
Wherever you were on the island, you could hear the radio mics. They were always saying, the shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working.
We just waited around. We just waited and waited and waited.
The shark worked well enough for a while there, and I think it's the whole time. So I really owe the shark a lot.
Our next set we have here on the right is the lovely Chicken Ranch, where Dolly Parton herself can be seen in the movie The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. But it is also Rob Zombie's House of 1,000 Corpses, and it's the house from the LMFAO music video, sorry for Party Rockin'. But it's also an example of what we call a practical set, because we can film inside of that house as well if we need to. But we've got quite a few more homes coming up in this next area that we refer to as Colonial Street. But a lot of times it's recognized from its 8-season run on ABC's Desperate Housewives, where this played Wisteria Lane. But we have also filmed so many other TV shows out here, like The Munsters, actually. We have 1313 Mockingbird Lane from that one here on the left-hand side. And they are right next door to this yellow house, which currently is being seen as Davies in Never Have I Ever. They just had, we got some fans, yes! I love that show too! Yes, you see a ton of this street in that one, and they just had their 4th and final season come out. I love seeing Never Have I Ever fans. Me too. Definitely watch it if no one has. Seems like a ton of Car 1 has, and Car 2. Let's go. It's a great one. And similar to our Metropolitan sets, they can change up a ton of these as well, depending on the production. Maybe add in some lampposts, some telephone booths, fences, all of that stuff as well, to kind of differentiate this between all of the other things that film out here. And again, similar to our Metropolitan sets, we can also tear up a ton of these houses. Even in Desperate Housewives, they threw a car through one of these. They set another house on fire, and they had a tornado destroy this entire neighborhood, which obviously you could never do if you were filming in an actual residential area. But here are just a few of some of the other TV shows, movies, and music videos you might recognize that are filmed right out here on our Colonial Street. About 15 minutes till we return to the theme park. So just one last safety reminder, and you guys know the drill by now. Just stay seated, pull that red cord if at any point you have an emergency. But now, I know it probably does not look like much here, but this is what we call Wilderness Road, and we really do film out here. Actually, never have I ever filmed this scene out here for just last season. But another Netflix original before that, Bird Box, starring Sandra Bullock, filmed out here. And this was used in an episode of Fox's 911, starring the talented Angela Bassett herself, where this was the site of an overturned limousine crash. And speaking of limousines, we're going to have just a few more picture cars coming up on the right-hand side this time. And one of the first ones you'll see is Bumblebee there, another fantastic picture car, next to another Transformers one there. And then we've got a much older looking police car in the center from the movie Public Enemy, and our Hopper car at the end there from Fast 7, where Toretto pumps a wheelie and his show off against Shaw. But the rest of those are in the park right now if you want to see some more Fast and Furious vehicles. But now, just as Marion Crane herself famously turned off the main highway, it would appear as though so has our tramp. And just like her, we are finding ourselves at this old, out-of-the-way motel with 12 rooms and 12 vacancies, I've been told. So, welcome everyone to the famous Bates Motel. And, it looks like Norman Bates is home today. So, I guess, scratch that stuff about the vacancies thing. Maybe they might have a customer in there. Seems a little bit in his head at the moment, so I think I'm gonna let him do his thing for now, and we're just gonna talk about. Yeah, I'm not quite sure that we're supposed to see what's going on here. But maybe he's carrying her to her car. You know, that's a pretty sweet, I guess, or into the room, I guess. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, like I was saying, Hey, yeah, we didn't really see much of what was going on, buddy, so we're just gonna kind of keep things moving here, and, nope. We have a pretty long day ahead of us, so I appreciate you taking a second to stop by, and my friends in car 4, I am very sorry, but, thankfully, we have Lucas here to take us up this little path, this, psycho path. And speaking of which, try not to make eye contact with him while we are driving up this thing. He's got quite the deadly stare there. Peace out, mama's boy. Sorry for bothering you. But like I was saying, what we have here on the left-hand side is part of the original mother's house. The front and sides are the original, constructed in 1959 for the 1960 Alfred Hitchcock film. And clearly, Norman Bates has a few skeletons in his closet, to say the least. But I definitely did not realize that all of this is what he's been hiding in his backyard. And this is the airplane crash site set, as you can see. Originally used, of course, for Steven Spielberg's War of the Worlds. And this was designed by a fantastic production designer named Rick Carter. And we've got a little from him, as well as Mr. Spielberg, on what went into making this absolutely breathtaking set that you all are seeing in front of you right now.
The airplane crash site set is a perfect example of a set that is all designed around a vision that Steven had.
When we first began to sit down to talk about the War of the World, I thought, what if the 747 goes down right in a big neighborhood? Because it's just something you don't see.
You're doing good. You're doing good. Keep your eyes on me. That's right. Now listen, I want you to close your eyes, okay? Okay, I'm closed. Robbie, get in. Get in.
And that is an actual decommissioned Boeing 747 airplane as well that we're kind of seeing in pieces there. But now I'm going to direct your attention pretty quickly to this giant blue wall that we're going to be driving towards for a second here. And this little basin as well that you're going to be seeing out in front of it. Now, I'm just pointing that out because we're going to get a closer look over there in a little bit. We're going to be doing a little bit of a scenic route here. And that area that I pointed out is what we call Falls Lake. And the basin you might have seen in front of it, now that's what we can fill with water and project digital images onto the blue screen in post-production. And really, a big reason of why we use that area is a lot of times we can't really film scenes in, the middle of a lake or in the middle of the ocean because we can't build sets out there. It's allowed to take your actors out there, a bunch of things. You don't want camera equipment and microphones in the ocean. So we can film out on our Falls Lake way easier. And before we get a closer look of that area, here's just a few movie examples of when we've used Falls Lake. Take a look.